What's going on, everybody? This is Al from PlaybookGamer.com, and today we're going to look at the South Carolina multiple playbook in college football 25. As with most multiple playbooks, you're going to have a variety of things, either in terms of formations or concepts. This one is no different. This is the Dal Logan's offense. He is now the head coach at Appalachian State, but he was the offensive coordinator at South Carolina. You know, Shane Beamer's the head coach. He's more of a special teams kind of guy, more of a CEO type. But this is a really cool playbook. I think you're going to like it. It's got a nice variety of things. So we're going to look at the formations, the concepts, and play types and personnel. And hopefully by the end of the video, you have a good idea of what this playbook is all about. So let's start off with the formation. So again, this is a multiple playbook. So you're going to see a little variety here. We got plenty of shotgun. We're going to look at that last. Let's start off with pistol. We got 3 formations here. Starting off, we have you off. This is a 12 personnel look with 1 halfback and 2 tight ends. We got doubles Y off. Now we're getting to 11 personnel with 1 back and 1 tight end. And now we got Y off trips. So those are your 3 pistol formations. You just go through here, and the bulk of it is basic run and play action. Nothing too exotic. However, if you go over to these other 2 formations, we got a little bit extra pre-snap motion. This is the first we'll see of that today. This is a nice little jet sweep series. But we got some RPOs in the pistol formation. There's not a lot of RPOs in the pistol formations. It just kind of depends on which playbook you look at, but this one has quite a few. This has got a read flat wheel. You got an RPO alert bubble. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. We'll go against something random here. So I like this. You got several options. You know, you can go to a little hitch / go on one end. You can go to the bubble on the other, or you could just hand the ball off. We got a 2 high look, so I'll probably just look at either the bubble or, let's see, yeah, we're going to definitely go to the bubble. We're going to get a decent gain on this one. Good little play there again, but it's really cool. You got a little RPO from the pistol. So let's look at some more of that. We have, again, more drop back, run, play action. The rest of it is pretty normal when you go through the rest of these pistol formations, but we got some more RPOs. We got a glance. We got a dash flood. That's just a basic drop back. That's more of a flood, you know, true concept there with a backside man beater. Counter, and then we got another RPO, halfback slam alert smoke, which looks pretty cool. Wide zone, the more pistol you have, the more outside handoffs you're going to have, such as that one right there. We got play action, stick, again, just more run, play action. It's about what you'd expect there. So that is it for the 3 pistol formations. It's nice to have a handful of those if you like to sprinkle some of that in. We got 1 single back formation, and it is single back bunch, 12 plays here. And as you can see, it's just typical run, play action, you know, but I like it's a little different than some because we got like a pitch wide receiver reverse, which I think is pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and call that. Pretty neat. It's really quick as well, if you notice right there, how quickly the receiver gets the ball and goes around. So that's a pretty nifty little play. I like, if I'm going to do any type of reverse, I want to make sure it's quick and not very slow development. So when you go back to that, we got a couple other things. We got an end around lead that kind of goes with it. We got a play action that goes with that. And we got a fake end around. So that's a nice little mini series. Then you can throw in the crack toss to go in that pitch wide receiver reverse. And you got a nice little mini series just out of this particular formation alone. So I think that's a really cool addition to the playbook. We do have a wildcat formation. It is unbalanced. There's 3 plays here. We got a jet reverse pass. That's a trick play. We got a basic jet sweep and the play action off that. So those 3 plays will work together. And then we got your typical goal line and stuff. So again, you got a little bit of pistol, you got a single back, and you got a wildcat. But the bulk of this is going to be shotgun. So let's go here. Starting off, gun ace. That is a 12 personnel look with that 1 back and 2 tight ends. Then we got wing slot weak, another 12 personnel look. And then we get into our first 11 personnel. This is normal Y off close. Then we got stack Y off, doubles Y off weak, wing trips weak, Y trips weak, Y off trips, Y off trips weak. F twins over. This is an oddball formation. Not a lot of playbooks have this one. That's still 11 personnel. You got to look at number 6. You're tied in there. Bunch wide. This is 11 personnel. Yes, you're spreading everybody out, but number 6, your tight end, is still out on the field by default. Spread Y flex. Then we got trips. This is our first 10 personnel, our 4 wide look of the day, 18 plays. And then you got the weak version of that, 15 plays. But what's interesting, you notice by default, see, if you notice at the bottom of center, it says the tight end slot sub package. They put it in there by default, which I think some playbooks do that. I think that's interesting. But if you want to go to the normal, you keep swiping to the right. Eventually, you'll get to just basic, the default package, and that is a 10 personnel look right there. Then we got empty chips. I like these empty chip formations. There's a handful of them where you got really good extra blocking and such. We're going to look at those plays here in a minute. And we got empty Y flex. That is technically an 0-1 personnel. package. That's 4 wide receivers and the 1 tight end. Anyway, really cool. So you got a nice little variety of things. So let's start back over here. And normally what I like to do going forward with the shotgun, I like to look for the pre-snap motion mini series. So let's see if we can go find some. I know there's going to be a handful. You go to wing slot week. I don't know if we have any here. Normal Y off close, more jet sweep. So we saw a little bit of that in the pistol. Well, you got some of that right here. You actually got 4 plays. You got a jet pass, you got the touch pass, you got the fake zone, then you got the play action on top of that. So that's pretty cool. Stack Y off, we got another jet sweep series. This one's a little more aggressive in the passing game. You look at the fake jet halfback seam, that looks pretty cool. And guess what? We got more of it. We got more jet sweep. We got a power built into that, which I think is pretty cool. This is a quarterback run, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty cool to get your quarterback going in these little jet sweeps. You just go and try to find whatever blocking you can. But anyway, that's a nice little wrinkle to your jet sweep action. You keep on going with this formation. We got the touch pass. We got the play action on top of that. So you got these 6 plays that work really well together. And let's keep going to the next formation. Doubles Y off weak. Do we have any here? I don't think we do. What about wing trips? I know we got one with some halfback swing, wing trips week. We'll get to that eventually. I don't see any pre-snap motion here. We got wide trips week. Here we got a nice little mini series. We got a reverse and a reverse pass. So in the previous video, I went over my best trick play playbooks that are in the game. This did not make the cut, but this one still got some decent stuff, and I'm gonna go ahead and call this basic reverse. So again, some reverses are slower than others. That one's not too bad. I thought it was a little quicker. Some are really slow. You just have to kind of go through which ones you like the best. But again, you got some reverses in here if you need it. Let's keep on going. What about Y off trips? Do we have any pre-snap motion here? Yes, we do. So we got a little tight end motion. We got an inside zone split, play action off of that, and a little read option on top of that. You got a Y off trips week, and there we go, some halfback swing. You got a Z spot. It's a motion built in with a halfback swing, and then you got an X slant spot. So all 3 of those work really well together. You keep on going. I don't have any more there. So F twins over. Again, this is an oddball formation. This is pure wrinkle type stuff, but it's all jet sweep. You got the basic jet sweep. You got a cross screen, inside zone. You got counter. You got QB power, and you got jet QB counter. So all 6 of those work really well. So you notice the bulk of our pre-snap motions are a lot of jet sweeps. So if you like jet sweeps, especially from the gun with a little bit of pistol, you know, this is just a great playbook for it. Bunch wide, nothing here. Spread wide flex. We got some Z motion. I always like looking at some of these. I'm going to go ahead and select. Let's go with that whip cross. That looks pretty nasty. Let's go here. We'll go up against a random 3-3-5. Just a little Z motion there. Little zig out. Go to your Z receiver right there. Get an easy gain. That's a nice little simple man beater on that one. Anyway, really cool. We got a little mini series there to have fun with. So you go there. You got the screen. You got a double post on top of that. We got more Z screen. We got bench curls. We got a motion bench. And then we got motion X replay. So again, I just like the variety of pre-snap motion we got in here. I think it's really nice. So you got trips. We also got another play or another trick play, double pass rail. There you go. That's a pretty cool little play if you can pull it off. You keep on going. I think that is it. Trips halfback week. We do have some halfback swing again. This time we're going from a more spread set, but we got a QB draw. It's an RPO. You got a screen, and you got a fake screen wheel on top of that. Empty chips. So let's talk about the empty chips. Anytime you see an empty chips formation, you're going to have a lot of delayed routes, especially from your tight ends. That's why they call them chips. So they do a little delay. They block for you. It's good for extra protection. So like what I'm going to do right here is I'm not even going to pass the ball, but you get that extra protection, and then you can finally get the ball. I think the protection's great, but that's the whole point of having that type of formation is to give your quarterback a little bit of time to throw. Okay, now we got empty. Let me go really quick, just make sure. So you notice all 9 of these plays have those chips, those tight ends or the halfback or whoever's on the line blocking for you for a couple seconds before they go out and release into a route. Empty Y flex. This is one of the rare empty formations that's got some pre-snap motion. We got a jet sweep. We got play action on top of that. I think that's pretty cool. So again, a good variety of pre-snap motion across the entire board. Now let's go look at some personnel groupings. We've already hinted at some of this. So the bulk of the playbook is going to be 11 personnel, if that's your thing. A lot of these playbooks are going to have 11 personnel. Well, here you go. You got tons tons of it. But we got a little bit of others as well. We got a Wildcat package. Then we got a 32 personnel. That's just your QB nil. 21, that's just your clog. We got a little bit of 12 if you need a couple tight ends out there by default. You got the one out of gun ace. You got wing slot weak. And you go under pistol with you off. And so you got 3 formations there. Then you got your 10 personnel. You got 2 formations. You got trips and the weak version of that. And there's that 0-1 personnel. That's that empty Y flex. So I like the variety. You know, I'm not a big fan. Like the Georgia playbook is excellent, but 95% of it is 11 personnel. I'd like to have a little bit of variety, but again, it's up to everybody kind of what they're wanting here. But I do like it to having the variety in this particular playbook. All right, so let's talk about some actual plays and concepts. We've already looked at some mini series and stuff, but let's look at what the rest of this playbook really has to offer. You look at the play count, we got like 56 runs, 54 options, and that's a nice even split. Quicks and mediums and deep. A lot of playbooks have a lot more passing than what you are seeing right here. So this isn't the biggest playbook in the world. But let's start off with the runs. Let's go over here to our first one. So you got 8 counters. If you're going to have that many counters, you're probably going to have that much power. And we're going to look at that here in a minute. You got 23 inside zone. This isn't too much of a shocker. Most playbooks have inside zone as their base run concept. You got 1 ISO. You only have 4 counters. So if you're a power guy, it's, you know, this ain't, the playbook is not for you. You got plenty of counter though. You got 8 of those, but only 4 powers. You got 5 draws. You got 6 outside zone. And what's cool is some of this is from the shotgun. It's outside zone from those 3 are from gun. And you got, you know, jet sweep. You got a couple pistol as well. So I like having a run game that's got a little bit of inside and outside to it. And this one has it. You got 4 sweeps. This is actually a high number, but look at what some of these are. These are really pulling tosses, crack tosses, and buck sweeps. I love buck sweep. If you're patient with the blocking, you can get some decent yardage with it as long as nobody runs into you like that lineman ran into me right there. Either way, those are pretty cool plays to use, and you have 4 of those. You got 2 traps. And you can actually kind of treat those as power if you wanted to. And that's that 1 end around that we looked at earlier and a couple of those reverses that we looked at as well. So between the end around of those 3 reverses and that reverse pass, you got a nice little group of trickery plays in this playbook. Let's look at some options. So we got about a good balance of basic runs, and now we're heading to the option stuff. So we got 1 inverted veer. We got 3 load options. These are basic speed options. You got 13 read options. That's pretty normal. It's just usually going to be your highest one in terms of your options. And those are those 3 speeds again. Now let's talk about the RPOs. So you notice we got a little variety here. We got RPO read. We got a bunch of glances. We got flats. We got bubbles. And we got more glance. So if you like the backside post / slant, this is a good playbook to have fun with. We got 8 RPO peaks. So we got more like backside type stuff with more bubbles and flats. You got even a tight end. The bubble while pop is pretty nasty. You got RPO zone stick. I'm a big stick guy. I'm a big air raid fan, so that's pretty cool to see. And then you got 17 alerts. You got these little bubbles and these little out routes, and you got some shock built into it. So I think the RPO game in this particular playbook is super strong, in my opinion. I think you just got a really nice variety of different ways to run some RPOs from this offense, especially with those handful of ones from the pistol, which I think is pretty cool. Let's look at some quick passes. We got 2 Ohios. That's your go out combo. You got Omaha, 3 of those. You got a scap. You got 11 slants. If you're going to have that many slants, you'll probably have that many stick. You got 2 spacing, and there is 7 stick. So it depends on which ones you like more. Some of these are combined. You go to slant, you come down here. I'm sure they got a slant stick there. So there you go. There's a stick in the slant concept section. That's because you just got a backside slant. Either way, slant and stick are going to be your go-tos from the quick passing. Let's talk about mediums. Starting off, choice. So any type of route that's got a choice, or a play that's got a choice route, they're going to dump it here. There's only 6 of them. Thankfully, this isn't a run and shoot playbook that's got pretty much nothing but. You got 9 curls. You got 5 double moves. You got 4 draws. You got a level. You got a few mesh. You got 1 pivot. You got 4 Salem. You got 4 shallow cross. You got 7 slot cross. You got 15 smash, which is usually your most common medium pass concept in every playbook. You got 5 spot, and you got 3 Texas, which is actually a really high number. So notice why I went through that really quickly. You got a little bit of everything. Nothing too outlandish other than your typical smash. But look at this: 6, 9, 5, 4. You come over here and you got your 4, your 4, your 7, your 15 and 5 and 3. So if you like a nice variety equals, multiple. Yours is going to be great. You got plenty of good stuff right here. And that's just from the medium pass. Let's talk about the deep pass. You got 8 double posts. You got 10 floods. I'm a big flood fan. I like having a backside man beater with a zone concept on the other. You got 11 comebacks. You got 6 daggers. You got 3 divides, 11 verticals. You got a go. And you got 6 meals. That meals is always fun. It's pretty much a slot cross or a dig with a back or with a post on top of it. You got 3 Portlands. You got 14 shot plays, good little play action stuff, and just really going over the top and trying to attack safeties. And you got 5 switches. So notice the theme here: 8, 10, 11, 6, 3, 11, just a little bit of everything. Again, this is a multiple playbook. So even though it doesn't have a ton of drop back passing, it's got a little bit of everything, which I think is pretty cool. All right, let's look at some play action. It says we got 10 play actions, but we know better. But it says we got 3 boots and 7 slides. Now, when it comes to screens, we got 13 bubbles. Remember, a lot of these are those RPOs. We got some flanker screens. We got 4 of those, and we got 5 wide receiver mid screens. However, if you go to play type, you go to pass, and you go to screen pass, we got 23 total screens that are not RPOs. You mix all of this in with all of those RPOs, and you got an incredible screen game. And notice the variety we have here: slip screen, wide receiver screen, a swing, a jailbreak screen, a cross screen, a halfback swing, another slip, another slip. We got a jet cross screen again. We got a tight end screen. Again, this is an amazing screen playbook. Now let's talk about the play action. We technically have 47 play actions. If you want to count those RPOs as play actions as well, you throw all those in with all 50 or so of the true play actions, you got more play action than you know what to do with, and a lot of it's pretty fun too. Look, all this fake end around and reverse pass stuff. Really neat. Let's go over to our runs. Basic stuff here. We've already looked at it in a different way, but we got 39 inside handoffs. That's pretty typical. You got 9 outside handoffs. That's a higher number. We talked about that earlier. We got 3 pitches. We got 8 counters. We got your 5 draws. You got a fullback run, and you got 4 QB runs. If you like the QB run game, that's not just pure option oriented, well, here you go. You got true runs. We already fooled around with one of them earlier, and you got your basic QB sneak from goal line. So again, variety. Let's talk about the option. You got 17 true option plays in here. Most of them are just reads, speeds, and leads and such. Okay. But then you go through those RPOs. So you combine those 50 or so play actions or those 20 plus screens, mix in with these 34 RPOs. I'm here to tell you, you're going to have a whole lot of fun if that's what you like to do. Again, it's variety is the name of the game here. That's why they call this a multiple playbook. It just has a little bit of whatever you could think of. So that is it for the playbook. I think it's a really neat offense. It's not a very big playbook because we already looked at the play counts. I mean, it's not humongous. But it's got more than what you could think of. It's got everything. It doesn't have triple option, but I don't know if you'd want that in a multiple playbook, but everybody's different on that. But if you need plenty of shotgun, a little bit of pistol, a little bit of single back, but the big thing is if you need a lot of RPOs, a lot of play actions and screens, and you just need a little bit of everything, especially from your play action or from your passing, especially from your mediums and deeps like we looked at right here, this is a great playbook. If you're unsure of what you want to run, this is a good playbook. That's my best summary I have for this particular playbook. It just has whatever you can think of for the most part. And then from there, if you really want to specialize in something, then you may want to go pick another playbook. Otherwise, I think you'll really enjoy this one. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later.